Welcome to today's lesson in physics. Today we are discussing energy level diagram of hydrogen atom. We have already discussed that the total energy of an electron in hydrogen atom is given by En is equal to minus 13.6 by n square electron volt. So that is the total energy of an electron in a hydrogen atom. By putting the values of n, that means here n can take values like 1, 2, 3, etc. So by substituting the values, we will get different energy values. That means when n equal to 1, it is minus 13.6 electron volt. When n equal to 2, minus 3.4 electron volt we will get. And when n equal to 3, we'll get minus 1.51 electron volt, and n equal to 4 minus 0.85 electron volt, and so on we will get. So by representing these energy levels in a diagram, we have a diagram as shown. This is the energy level diagram of hydrogen atom. So we call the first level, that means n equal to 1 level, as the ground state. So n equal to 1 level is called as the ground state of the hydrogen atom, and the other levels, that is n equal to 2, n equal to 3, all those levels, it is called as excited state. So we have ground state and excited state. N equal to 2 is called first excited state. N equal to 3 is called second excited state. And n equal to 4 is called third excited state, like that. So we have the ground state and excited state in a hydrogen atom. And we have to note the gaps between the different levels, because n equal to 1, we know it is minus 13.6, n equal to 2, minus 3.4. So that gap is somewhat big. So that's why the gap is shown like this. This gap is more. Then the next one, it is minus 1.51. So between n equal to 2 and n equal to 3, the gap is less. Like that, that gap is different between different energy levels. In that way, we have to draw. So this diagram is the energy level diagram of a hydrogen atom. Now we will discuss some terms related to energy level diagram. We have first one, excitation energy. Excitation energy is the energy required to excite an electron from its ground state to the excited state. We have already discussed what is ground state. In hydrogen atom, the ground state is n equal to 1 level, and the other levels are called as excited state. So to move an electron from the ground state to any of the excited state, that energy required is called as excitation energy. So first excitation energy of hydrogen atom, it is the energy required to excite the electron from n equal to 1 to n equal to 2 of hydrogen atom. That is the energy required. We can just find the difference. In n equal to 1, it is minus 13.6, and n equal to 2, it is minus 3.4. So minus 3.4 minus minus 13.6, that is 10.2 electron volt. So first excitation energy in the case of hydrogen atom is 10.2 electron volt. So like that, different excitation energies we can find. Next, we have a term, excitation potential. Excitation potential of an excited state is the potential difference through which the electron in an atom has to be accelerated so as to excite it from the ground state to the given excited state. So that potential difference, that's what we mean by excitation potential. Here we got excitation energy for first excitation. That means from n equal to 1 to n equal to 2, it is 10.2 electron volt. So that 10.2 volt is called as the first excitation potential. So that required potential difference is called as excitation potential. So first excitation potential of hydrogen atom is 10.2 volt. Now, next term we have ionization energy. Ionization energy is the energy required to take an electron completely out of the atom. So to remove the electron from the atom, how much energy we need or how much energy is required, that energy is known as ionization energy. In the case of hydrogen atom, the ionization energy is 13.6 electron volt because hydrogen atom consists only of one electron and that electron is having an energy minus 13.6 electron volt. So to remove that electron from that hydrogen atom, we need to supply an energy of 13.6 electron volt. Therefore, the ionization energy of the hydrogen atom is 13.6 electron volt. Note that it is positive. Now, about the two types of spectrum we have already discussed. Emission spectrum, how we get emission spectrum. We know if a current is given to hydrogen gas taken in a discharge tube, radiations of certain frequencies were emitted. So these radiations are called as emission spectrum. And when we photograph the emission spectrum, it consists of bright lines in a dark background. Now coming to absorption spectrum, if light is passed through hydrogen gas taken in a glass tube, the atoms will absorb certain frequencies for the excitation to higher states. So if we analyze the light coming out, we can see some dark lines in the bright background. These dark lines, they correspond to the frequencies absorbed by the hydrogen atom. That means hydrogen atom, they absorb some energy to go to excited states. So the dark lines in the absorption spectrum corresponds to those energies absorbed by the hydrogen atom. This spectrum we call as absorption spectrum. We have already discussed about these two spectra, and now we discuss the emission lines or different spectral series in hydrogen atom. As we already discussed, in the case of hydrogen atom, many spectral lines are observed, and we have seen that among different sets of these spectral lines, there is a relation between the gap of the spectral lines. The spacing between lines within certain set of hydrogen spectrum decreases in a regular way, and each of these sets is called as spectral series. Likewise, there are different spectral series in the hydrogen atom. They are Balmer series, Lyman series, Paschen series, Brackett series, and Pfund series. So about those spectral series we are going to discuss. So what we have observed is this: as the wavelength decreases, the lines appear closer together and are weaker in intensity. That's the observation we get. As the wavelength decreases, the lines appear closer together, appear close to each other, and are weaker in intensity. To explain different spectral series in hydrogen atom, first we will obtain an expression which we call as Rydberg formula. So corresponding to transition from one energy level to another energy level, we have one photon emitted according to Bohr model. So what is the energy of that photon and what is the wavelength of that photon emitted? Such things we will discuss now. So the empirical formula which Balmer derived without any theoretical support, that formula we can obtain from Bohr model in the case of hydrogen atom. So using Bohr postulate, the energy for transition from N1 to N2, it is given by h nu minus En2 minus En1. So we have h nu equal to minus m e raised to 4 by 8 epsilon 0 square h square n2 square minus m e raised to 4 by 8 epsilon 0 square h square n1 square. So we have m e raised to 4 by 8 epsilon 0 square h square into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. So the frequency it becomes m e raised to 4 by 8 epsilon 0 square h cube into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. In this equation, we put nu equal to c by lambda. So we have c by lambda equal to the same right hand side we have m e raised to 4 by 8 epsilon 0 square h cube into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. Now taking c to right hand side, we have 1 by lambda equal to m e raised to 4 by 8 epsilon 0 square h cube c into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square, where 1 by lambda is the wave number. So this 1 by lambda is called as wave number. And in this equation, that constant m e raised to 4 by 8 epsilon 0 square h cube c can be calculated. So when we calculate that value, that constant we get as the same Rydberg constant which we got in Balmer's empirical formula. Value of R is 1.097 into 10 raised to 7 per meter. So this equation comes as a general expression for all the spectral lines observed in the hydrogen atom. That means 1 by lambda equal to R into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. So depending on the values of n1, that means the final energy level to which the electron makes the transition, will get different types of spectral series. So this diagram shows the spectral series of hydrogen atom. So as I said, it is the value of n1, that means the final energy level, which decides what series it is. So if the electrons make transitions from higher energy levels to n equal to 1 level, so that set of spectral lines are represented here. First set, we have this particular set. Okay, from higher energy levels, if the electrons make transition from higher energy levels to n equal to 1 level, that means the ground state, we have a set of spectral lines called as Lyman series. So the transition from n equal to 2, n equal to 3, n equal to 4, etc. to n equal to 1 level, that transition correspond to spectral series called as Lyman series. So spectral line of Lyman series correspond to the transition of an electron from some higher energy level to the innermost orbit, that means the ground state, that is n equal to 1. So for Lyman series, n1 equal to 1 and n2 equal to 2, 3, 4, etc. So we have the expression for wave number as 1 by lambda equal to R into 1 by 1 square minus 1 by n square. So for Lyman series, this n can take values 2, 3, 4, etc. And Lyman series belong to ultraviolet region. That means when we make the calculation, this wavelength, it belongs to ultraviolet region. Now coming to Balmer series, we get Balmer series when the electrons make transition from higher energy levels to first excited state. First excited state means n equal to 2 level. So when the electrons from higher energy level, when it makes transition to n equal to 2 level, we get a set of spectral series called Balmer series. So in Balmer series, we can say n1 equal to 2 and n2 equal to 3, 4, 5, etc. And the equation, it takes the form 1 by lambda equal to R into 1 by 2 square minus 1 by n square, where n can take values like 3, 4, 5, etc. And the peculiarity of this Balmer series is this: first 4 lines of the Balmer series lie in the visible region, and the rest of the series goes to ultraviolet region. So the presence of about spectral lines in the Balmer series in the first 4, that means in the visible region, the first 4 lines in the Balmer series lie in the visible region. That fact is the importance of Balmer series. Now coming to Paschen series. For Paschen series, the first, that means n1 equal to 3 and n2 equal to 4, 5, 6, etc. So we have the equation 1 by lambda equal to r into 1 by 3 square minus 1 by n square, where n can take values 4, 5, 6. And this Paschen series belongs completely to infrared region. So this diagram, in the diagram we know the transition from higher energy level to second excited state, that means n equal to 3 level, shows Paschen series. Now coming to bracket series. For bracket series, the transition from higher energy level to third excited state, that means n equal to 4 level, it gives the bracket series. So for bracket series, the equation becomes 1 by lambda equal to r into 1 by 4 square minus 1 by n square. So n can take values 5, 6, 7, etc. And this also belongs to infrared region. Finally, the Pfund series. Pfund series n1, that means it makes transition to n equal to 5. So n2 can take values like 6, 7, etc. And the equation for the Pfund series, it becomes 1 by lambda equal to r into 1 by 5 square minus 1 by n square, where n can take values like 6, 7, 8, etc. And the Pfund series, it belongs to infrared region, but it is particularly far infrared region. Regarding the spectral series in hydrogen atom, one point is to be noted. We have different spectral series. The shortest wavelength in any spectral series, it corresponds to a transition from n equal to infinity to that particular energy level. We know if the transitions are made to n equal to 1 level, it is Lyman series. If it is to n equal to 2, it is Balmer. If it is n equal to 3, it is Paschen. Like that, different series we have. So in one particular spectral series, the shortest wavelength corresponds to transition from n equal to infinity. So when an electron makes transition from infinity to that particular energy level, we have the shortest wavelength in that spectral series. So in any spectral series, shortest wavelength is obtained by a transition from n equal to infinity to that particular level. And in a spectral series, that means highest wavelength we obtain when the transition is made from just nearer energy level. That means in Lyman series, the highest wavelength, it is obtained by a transition from n equal to 2 to n equal to 1. In Balmer, the longest wavelength, it corresponds to transition from n equal to 3 to n equal to 2. In Paschen, it corresponds to transition from n equal to 4 to n equal to 3. So just a nearer transition, it results in the longer wavelength emission, and the transition from n equal to infinity to that particular level, it results in the shortest wavelength. So it is a point to be noted while doing problems. This diagram shows the emission lines in the spectrum of hydrogen. The different series also it is shown. So the region of different spectral series, those points we have to note carefully. So with that, we wind up today's lesson. Thank you.